Tonight I thought I would talk to you all about opening up to the spiritual world because I have a lot of people who ask me how I started out doing it, and it's been a lifelong process. First of all, I've always felt them around me, and I think most of us can, but a lot of us block it out or we just blow it off as just our imaginations. But the spiritual world is very real. I've been dealing with it for a really long time, and just like to share with you some of my tips on how I feel that you can bring that world closer in to yours so that you can start to get messages from your guides and angels and loved ones. The first thing that I started doing was to find a place that was quiet and meditate. And a lot of people don't understand what meditation is, and I'm going to just quickly go over what it is for me. And I think it's different for everybody. I think that meditation is all about putting yourself in a place of comfort and peace and relaxation and really just getting your mind totally blank and clear. And that can be really hard when you first start doing it. I think it took me, I'd say, a couple weeks to really get all the thoughts out of my head because what I would do is I would lay on my bed, and I never closed my eyes to meditate. I always kept my eyes open. And I think the reason why I started out keeping my eyes open is because I was a little fearful. I was scared of, what might happen if I have my eyes closed and what might be in the room with me. And I was still in a little panic mode then. This was 3 years ago when I first started developing my gifts. And so what I would do is I would just stare blankly off into space, kind of like how you do when you might be riding in the car with somebody and it's quiet and you just sort of stare off into space. It's sort of a mindset of just getting yourself there to just be blank. And it's almost a dreamlike state, but you're awake. But for me, it worked with my eyes open. It still does. I keep my eyes open when I meditate, and it really works for me. But that's not to say it'll work for you that way. It might be easier for you to keep your eyes closed. I don't think there's a wrong way to do it. It just depends on what works for you. But normally what I do is I just get quiet, get relaxed, lay on the bed, and just kind of zone out. And I'm got to be honest with you. I mean, meditation and quiet time for me is wonderful. And it takes me about 15 seconds to get to a place of total meditation now. I'll get home, I'll lay down on my bed, I'll stare off into space, and it takes about 15 seconds to clear my mind. I'm sure that some people can do it in a lot less time than that, but it takes me still a few seconds to get there, but not too long. So I do feel that that is the key to first opening up, is learning to quiet your mind down, settle your mind down, know that that is your time to totally just blank out, because if you're not blank, you're not going to get any messages. This is not going to happen because you're going to have a million other things on your mind, racing thoughts, and you're not going to be able to hear it, feel it, see it, sense it, whatever way you get the messages. I also want to talk about protection. For me, the minute I start my meditation, I just pray to God, or whoever your higher power is. Mine is God, the source, the one, however you refer to your God. I normally just take a minute and I just say a prayer of protection, that He cover me and surround me in the light of hope, love, truth, and faith. That's what I've always said. I don't know where it came from. It was the very first time I ever meditated, and I used that. And it's sort of stuck with me. And it's almost like I do it now without even thinking about it. I just know that when I do that meditation, that light covers me. It's all kind of one. So I don't really say it out loud anymore. It's sort of like I know when I go in my meditative state, this is what I'm doing. I'm surrounding myself in the shroud of white light. God, please cover me and protect me while I'm here. And then I sort of go into it. For me, it's like a trance. It's not like my eyes roll in the back of my head, or I'm sitting there like waiting for something to jump in my body, because it's not like that at all. It's just very relaxing. Like I wish I could explain it. It's like almost being on a sedative. Like when you take sleeping medicine, or for me, melatonin does the same thing. It totally just like mellows me out, and that's what meditation does for me. It gets me to that point of mellow, and that's what you need in order to get closer to the spirit world and to your loved ones and the angels and the guardians that want to help you and send you messages. So that's what I do, and it really works for me. I can't describe enough to you all of the positive things that have happened in my life since I've meditated, and since I've allowed God to sort of take over and control the things that go on around me. There has been a lot of people that have come and gone, but it's more like you start to realize the people in your life that serve a purpose, the ones that are there for the right reasons and the ones that are there that probably shouldn't be there. And honestly, when you get yourself on that path and you're meditating all the time and you're trying to draw closer to spirit and to God, the ones that don't need to be in your life will sort of either pull away or you'll pull away from them. And there's no hard feelings. I mean, it's just how it is. And it's been great. I love and care for everybody that's ever been a part of my life. But I think sometimes growth pulls you all in different directions. So I feel great about where I am in my life, and I enjoy being able to spread these messages, especially about spirit and communicating. So I guess this is going to be my first segment, is just about learning to get yourself calm and in a meditative state, and that basically comes with just, doing it a few minutes every night. Don't sit down and do it for 30 minutes the first night, because you're just going to get yourself burnt out from it, and you're not going to want to do it every night. Take 5, maybe 10 minutes. I would say 5 minutes the first time you ever do it. And from there, just increase maybe 2 to 3 minutes a night until you get to where you want to be. I meditate now I might start off for a minute or two, and then I do a lot of automatic writing, which I'll talk about in another segment and sort of, fill you in on how all that works. But, the meditative state is where you need to be in order to get the information flowing. And until you can get to the meditative state, the information, you may get bits and pieces of it, but you're not going to get it like you would if you're meditating and you're flowing and you're feeling good, and just the energy just flows so much easier when you're there. And just like this whole recording, I've done it completely ad lib. I haven't written anything or scripted it. It's sort of come from my meditative state and from God and the spiritual world sort of giving me a guidance as to what I need to say. So that is the end of the first segment of learning to meditate and clearing your mind and protecting yourself in order to get closer to God and the spiritual world. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be recording another one soon.